What it do, what it do, what it do, my people. Okay, y'all know I love to save money, right? And I love helping people save money. So this video is about how to save money without paying the expense with getting your hair colored or dyed, right? So we all know that these beauticians can cost for you to go get your hair bleached or dyed or bleached and dyed. So I come up with a way that I can save money and do it myself. So I got the bleaching powder. This is the lifter. This is what's going to make the highlight, help the highlight come up. This is what they call the activator, right? So you have to mix the powder with the activator, and you have to make sure that you use the right amount because this stuff will burn. You have to be really careful. So in order for me to mix it up, I make sure I have my safety gloves. These are the gloves I use to dye my hair with. And I don't use permanent. I use rinse because I like wearing different colors. And so you use oil to protect your skin around. It's like putting a perm in your hair. And so I have my bowl and I have my spoon. This is what I'm going to mix the chemicals with. So first I put my safety gloves on because I don't want this stuff getting on my skin. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it will burn you. But in advice, don't scratch your scalp before you get ready to do this, because what I'm doing now is bleaching my hair before I get ready to put the dye in there. So for most chicks, some chicks, not most, but some, they like to just bleach their hair and have it like that. So if you're just bleaching your hair, then make sure you wash your hair with a really good shampoo. Me preferably, I like leave-in conditioner. And make sure that you keep your hair moisturized so that your hair doesn't start breaking off. I love short hair. It's good. You know, I can rock my waves and everything. I haven't had a perm in a while. It's not good to me to mix any kind of dyes with a perm, period. I wouldn't do it. Even though some do, but not me. So I open this up. I've already used some. I open this up. This is the what's gonna help bring the highlight to bleaching your hair. You have to put the powder in first. So by me not having that much hair, I don't need that much. And it already comes with a scoop in it. See? So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use 2 scoops on my hair because you want to make sure, but not real full, like it's finna overflow kind of scoops. Maybe a scoop and a half I'll use for my hair because it's this size cup. So I'll use about a scoop and a half because you don't want it to be too liquidy, because if it's too liquidy, it's gonna burn your scalp, most definitely. So you want it to make sure that it's creamy. You want to make sure, because it just almost like the thickness of a perm when you put a perm in. For those who know how to do the good way of doing your perm at home. So I put about a cup and a half of the lifting powder. And so now I'm going to put the activator in there. It's like a peroxide kind of thing, right? So, like I said, you want to be real careful. And the only reason why I use this amount is because I've done this a lot. For y'all that's just now beginning, I would advise you guys to get the small pack. You want to get a small pack that comes like this of the powder. For y'all that's just now starting, you want to get a small pack of this, and you want to get the smallest thing of activator. Me, I use activator 20 because it highlights the hair better to me. But everybody's different. So I make sure that, like I said, I don't make sure it's thin. It has to be kind of thick, right? So I'm going to start off with just pouring a little bit in there. And then I'm going to take my spoon and stir it up. And see if I need to add more powder or do I need to add more liquid. And this stuff is really strong too, y'all. So keep it away from your nose because this stuff is really, really strong. See, this is too liquidy, so that means that I have to add a little bit more powder because, like I said, the more liquidy it is, the stronger it is, and it can burn you. And so I'm going to show y'all what I'm talking about. This is too liquidy, okay? You don't want it to be like that. This stuff is really strong. Like I said, keep it away from your face. And don't let no kids be around you while you're doing this. So I'm going to take another, maybe a quarter of the cup and pour it in there. Because I don't want it too thick neither. Now that's going to be just perfect. Because that's more like a perm. The way, the thickness of how a perm should be once you mix the activator with the cream. Perm should turn out the same way with this kind of thickness. That's the kind of thickness you want. And you want to make sure that you got all this stuff mixed in good together. Y'all see how I'm keeping it away from my face and my clothes, really, even though I really don't care about these clothes, but because they're just around house clothes. But still, you can wipe your hands on your clothes that you wipe this stuff on, then end up touching your face again, and then, you know, burn your face. So you just have to be careful. So after I make sure everything is mixed up really good, I make sure I rinse my gloves off and my spoon. Because once you wash this stuff out, you don't want it back in your head. So then I could take my, well, for right now I'm going to take these off so I can put this stuff up, because you don't want to leave all kind of stuff around. You don't want a messy atmosphere. You don't want stuff I just hate clutter, you know what I mean? Okay, we'll make sure you got your towel close to you. Always want to make sure you use a white. Well, I don't know what it is, but it it just seems like you can tell if any hair comes out. You can just tell better what's the outcome on a towel, on a white towel. So after I put all my stuff up, make my sure my area is clean. Now, for most people, they have to take their earrings out and all that. Now, I don't do that really because I've done it for so long. I'm pretty good at avoiding getting it on my earrings. But for just in case purposes, I put Vaseline on my earrings too to protect those two, just in case dye want to drop on it. Okay, so the next thing I do is gotta get your Vaseline. Oh, and make sure you get one of these kind of brushes because when you start, this is what you're gonna put your bleaching stuff in with this right here, and this brush helps to disperse the chemical evenly throughout your hair. So I put my protective gloves on even when I base my hair with the Vaseline because I don't want, the Vaseline getting up under my nails. I don't like that. So I put the Vaseline on and make sure that you put plenty of Vaseline on around your forehead and ears, behind your ears, around your jaw area, by your eyebrow, your cheekbone area. Like I said, your earring, if you don't want to really take those off at the moment. And you make sure it goes all around your neck, a little bit on your shoulder because, sometimes dye and stuff can fall on your shoulder. So you just want to make sure that everything is lubricated so that you don't get burnt. Okay. Now, after I make sure everything is lubricated on any possible area where this bleaching process isn't supposed to occur, I make sure I lubricate it because, like I said, it will burn your skin. So then I take my bleaching chemical, and usually I want to start from the middle because for some reason with my hair, the edges start turning and it always turns out brighter than the other. So I'm just going to start off in the middle part of my hair, start to bleach and work my way back, and then I'll come to the front. And like I said, this stuff is really strong. It can be so strong where it take your breath away. And so once you get the whole head saturated with this stuff, then you want to keep it on there for at least 15-20 minutes, because the longer you keep it on there, the lighter your hair get. And so you want to also make sure you get your neck area, because when your hair start growing back, you want it to be the same color as the rest of your hair, right? So you want to make sure you get the crevices of the back of your neck really good. That's why we based it down with Vaseline so good so it don't burn. And just work your way back up to the front. Because for some reason, to me, the front always turns out lighter for some reason than the rest. So I like to start from the back and then work my way up. And you want to make sure you even do it in the front too, where your hairline is at. You want to make sure you get that really good, because you don't want to look all crazy and stuff, right? You want to make sure you get it really good. And that's why I base my hair, my head, my forehead, my ears and neck so good with Vaseline so that this stuff does not burn me. And you want to make sure that when you make your mixture, you make enough for your hair. I'd rather have too much than not enough. Because you don't want to have to stop what you're doing to make some more. That's going to take up time and your hair isn't going to come out colored evenly if you have to go through that mixing stuff all over again because you done ran out. So that's what I do. Is I make sure that I put it in. Like I said, I've been doing it for so long, I just about know how much it's gonna take for my hair because I'm always wearing my hair short. But if I was to have longer hair, I would have had to make way more than what I just made as far as my mixture. And see, you have to go throughout your hair like this when you're bleaching your hair, because this little brush is amazing, y'all, to help make sure that you get down to the nitty gritty. I mean, some people use your hands. You could have used your hands, but I just like doing this way. Then sometimes after I do it this way, then I use my hand to make sure I got it from the nitty to the gritty. Because you don't want to go around looking funny, honey. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, almost like painting. Okay. Yeah, y'all see. And you want to let it stay in there for at least 15-20 minutes. The longer it stays in, the lighter your hair gets. But you can also damage your hair if you let it stay in there too long. So that's why I say 20 minutes tops. And as you start going throughout your hair, you keep doing this, you'll start seeing your hair get lighter and lighter, and it'll start changing a different color than what it was when you first started. But you got to keep doing this to make sure that it's evenly dispersed throughout your hair. And I'm telling y'all, this can save me all kind of money. Instead of having to schedule an appointment, and then once you schedule your appointment, you still gotta sit there and wait. Then you gotta come off. Well, it's been my experience as cheap as $50. I don't know about anybody else, but it's been as cheap as $50 to go get my hair cut and dyed. So to save money, you can do it yourself. Honey child, let me tell you something. This stuff that I just bought at the beauty supply store, it didn't even cost $20. Okay. And you can do it yourself. And by me using a rinse, that means that I have to keep coloring my hair every couple of weeks. But the only way I have to bleach my hair unless I'm changing colors. Because if you put a color on top of a color, it's going to change to a whole nother color you didn't expect. So you don't want to do that. So you don't mix any dyes in with this stuff neither. You bleach first, then you rinse this out, then you wash your hair. After you wash your hair, if you leaving it just bleached, make sure that you moisturize it really good. Put it in some kind of protective style until it dries. I like to let my hair air dry. But if you put in a dye on top of it, then wash your hair, rinse this out, wash your hair with any kind of shampoo you prefer, and then you wash your hair with the shampoo. Whatever shampoo you prefer, stuff like that. Then you put the dye in. You towel dry your hair first, and then you put the dye in after you towel dry your hair. Because if your hair is not towel dry before you put the dye in, what's going to happen is you're going to have all this dye coming down in your face and all on your clothes. It's going to destroy everything. So you want to make sure that once you wash this stuff out, you shampoo it really good. Shampoo it twice. And then you put your dye in. And you let the dye sit in there. Me, I use a plastic cap. And I put it on my head. I let the dye stay in for about maybe a half an hour with my plastic cap, because I hate sitting up under the blow dryer or the hair dryer, So give me a plastic cap after I done put the dye in. Let it stay in there half an hour, sometimes over a half an hour, just all depends. And then I rinse the dye out. Don't shampoo your hair after you're rinsing the dye out. Make sure that once you're rinsing the dye out, you keep rinsing until the water turns clear. After that, voila.